Hi guys. Today we're going to have quite a bit of fun. As promised, I've been saying that I'm going to do a jelly printing session with you guys, and I finally got everything gathered up and going to print some stuff. And this is probably going to be a fairly long video because I'm going to do this in real time, explain my process. Let me first explain, if you guys don't know what a jelly print plate is, or a gel plate. It is a just like a gelatin type of material that you can get. Gel Press makes them, and also Jelly Arts makes them. Gel Press is cheaper, so I have the Gel Press. This is an 8.5 by 11 or an 8 by 10, one of the two. I also have a bigger one that's a 9 by 12 or a 9 by 14. 12 by 14 is what it is, but I have not used that yet, so at some point when I break it out, I will also be taping that. You can also make your own jelly plate. Honestly, once you buy the materials to make it, which you'll need glycerin and you'll need some gelatin, and I can't remember what else. I think just water. But once you buy like all the bottles of glycerin that you'll need to make it thick enough, and then the box of like gelatin's not very cheap. So by the time you get all that together, you could go and get one of these gel press for pretty much close to what you would pay to buy all the stuff to make it yourself. If you're interested in making it, though, there are videos out there on YouTube. If you just search making your own jelly plate, there are a couple people that I know that I subscribe to that have videos on that. One's Pink Poodle Crafts, and the other is the Frugal Crafter. I made one myself, and I made a bigger one, but I have cut it into a small piece and just put it on an acrylic block that I got from the Dollar Tree, because now they sell these clear acrylic blocks for the stamps that they sell. So what I've done, and I have never used this yet, I've had it sitting for months and months, so I thought, well, I'll just cut it out to the size of this acrylic block, and then I can create different size stamps with this. So I could do custom stamps, markings, whatever, and then just kind of flip it over and do my prints, do a little square. So what you'll need, obviously the gel plate. I have it on a piece of plexiglass so that it'll be easy to come off. Here's the brayer. You'll need that. You'll need several acrylic paints. Any colors will do. So I have my favorite colors. I like the Liquitex Basics. I won't go through everything I have out right now because there's quite a few colors I have, so I'll just tell you what they are as I use them. I've also got, I want to try out the acrylic inks with them, so if you've seen any of my Hobby Lobby hauls, you've seen me haul every single color of these, and I've got a few of those colors out. I don't have them all. I've also got some Blick matte acrylic. So I have different, you can mix and match your paints. And I've got some folk art as well. I've got this plaid stencil gel, and I like these because these are thin. I've got also some Liquitex acrylic ink. I've got Dr. P.H. Martin's India ink, just anything that, I guess acrylic inks or just acrylic paint in general is what I like to use. And then you need something to make texture and stamping with. So I have a lot of different household stamps or homemade stamps. This is just from a bingo game. So these were the little bingo chips and just poked out, and I kept this to use as a stencil for the holes. I have this piece of punchinella, so then I can use that to create some texture. I've got, I'm not sure what this is. I got this from the thrift store kind of like a netting type of thing. I mean, anything you could think of that will create texture, use it. As long as it's not sharp, because you don't want any sharp objects on this, because it is like gel and you don't want to mark your Gelli plate. I've also got homemade stencil that I made from a hot glue gun. Let's see. I've got many things here. I won't show them all to you. I have some bubble wrap. I'm like at a loss for words now. I'm like trying to rush so that we can get started so I don't have to take too long. So here's bubble wrap. I don't clean my bubble wrap off. I mean, I think it's neat that, you know, if you do this and you let the paint dry on this, then some of that old paint is going to transfer onto your new design, and I like that because it creates texture. It creates like an old kind of feel. Let's see. I have a bigger bubble wrap. I've got just a cork lid. I've got I have no idea what this was, like a candy. I don't know if there was candy in this or what this was. So you can just save like anything, but these will be perfect for little circles. And then a couple other my favorite things are these block stamps. So they have several different designs on, well, 3-4 different designs on here. I've also got this one that's got different textures on it. And then, let's see, I've got, and I'm not sure if I'll use these yet, but these are the stamps that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I think they were $2 a piece. The wood fabric dye like type of stamps. I really like these. So I have a couple of those. So let's just get started. Well, I guess I should go over what paper I'm going to be using. So I found these at the thrift store, and you could probably, I would say you guys could probably find these fairly easily at your thrift stores. These are postcards, so they're already perforated and sized. So this one's like a 4x6. This creates a 4x6 card. So I'm going to use that, and I'll probably print on both sides. And then I've got this one I also have found from a thrift store. These are 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards and envelopes. I'm not going to be stamping the envelopes. You could, but I'm not going to do that today. And these are nice. They're high quality, heavyweight stock. So I thought I would try those, and just, my thought was maybe, you know, tear them apart and make a mini journal out of them. Or I may not do that. I may just keep them for like a bigger collage piece later on. So let's just, now that we've gotten through that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And what I like to do is start off with the darker colors, and I just kind of take my finger. I know this is kind of close up, and you don't use a lot of paint on this. I don't like coat this with a lot of paint. And these two colors here are two of my favorite color combinations, this red oxide and this bright aqua green. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my brayer, and I'll start with, I guess I'll start with this. So as you can see, this is kind of going on, not really thick. I kind of like to do a thin layer, and then I don't want to mix the two colors too much. I may need to add a little bit more paint here. I'm not sure. I may just keep kind of blending this in. And there's still some dried paint on this. I don't clean my plate when I'm done. I like to have some of that old paint come up and reactivate. And then, so I'm just gonna, now that I have that rubbed on, I'm just gonna clean my brayer off on this sheet of paper over here. And so now I want to just create some texture, and I go ahead and just do some bubble wrap here. Let's do, I haven't tried this yet, so I want to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to sit this on here, and then run my brayer across, and that's going to pick up some of the paint through the holes. That looks nice. And then let me try, I just try this. I'll try my little circles here. And this is going to pick up pretty thin, but that's fine. That's what I want, because I'll layer over top of it. So then we'll just take our piece of paper, and I'll just use my hands to rub on it and make sure that the paint transfers on the page. I haven't done this for a while, so I'm going to have to kind of figure out and get used to how much paint I really need. So there is that, and not a lot came off, so I will be reprinting over that. So I didn't use enough paint. I'm going to go ahead and use the same colors and just add a little more paint this time. So you can layer this as much as you want. Go ahead and start with the blue. There, that's a little bit better. That's a little more paint than what I had on there. I'm kind of stingy with it because I don't want too much. So I'll just adjust as I go along. And then kind of just do a gradiated effect here. And I don't know, let's try some of this, whatever this is. And I could also take it and just stamp that on my waste paper. Let's do one of my favorite block stamps here. And I'm not trying to be like perfectly straight with it or anything. I'm just transferring texture. Now I can just clean that off by stamping on that. And let's see what else we can do. I've got this piece of styrofoam that's got little bumpies on it, so I like it as well. So I'll just kind of stamp a little bit here and there. And let's use this same one again. And I don't care if it's lined up perfectly or not, because I mean, this is just little cards that will be torn off. Okay, so there's that, and I like that. I really like this. If you can see the little block stamp here. I just like the little grunge look to it. And once these are tore off into cards, I think they'll be really nice. I think now, what do I want to do? I think I'll put this one aside to dry, and then we'll do something new. Let's try, here I've got Blick matte acrylic and yellow oxide. And these are more liquid than the Liquitex Basics. Let me try this stencil gel, and this one is the color Fern. And of course, my phone would ring. It hasn't rang all day. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. So what I've done is, did I go over this? I believe I did this matte acrylic yellow oxide, and then I've added the stencil gel and fern, and then I've also put a little bit of this folk art battleship gray, and we'll go ahead and just start mixing all that together. I did get it too much paint on the plate, so I just put it over here on my plexiglass. So this, I could tell, was too much paint. It's sliding pretty good, but that's all right. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna use my punchinella again, and let's see what else I can use. My homemade stencil. And I'll just pull that off. And I also really like this thing, so when I just put it across like this, oh, look at this. Check out my brayer. So let me just wipe that on this waste paper real quick. All right. Stretch that across like that. And let me try this. I'll try this wood block here. Just in different directions. And clean that off on the waste paper. And then I'm going to get another sheet. And I'll try this. I guess I lean more towards earthy tones than I do really bright tones. And you guys can use whatever colors that you like and what you gravitate to and what go together for you. So there is that, and that's a lot of texture on that. So I really like that. Let's see. Could add a little bit. Copper is burnished copper, and this Blick acrylic is also one of my favorite colors. I think I'll just put a little bit down. Go ahead and brayer that on and just very thinly. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just, you can barely see that. I'm going to see how that turns out on. I'm just going to lay this back down and just get that bit of copper on here and see what that looks like. And you can see the shimmer there. Okay. I'm just going to play around and I'll just try some different colors here that I don't normally use. So here is Pewter in Blick Matte Acrylic. I like this color too. These are shiny. And let's try the purple. We'll do some dark. I'm going to do some dark colors right now. Come on out. Sorry if I'm so shaky. So there's that. What else could I use for the dark color? we could actually, we want to do this orange deep. Okay. I think I'll start on the light side. Just on the lighter side. And then over here, and then to the pewter. I may need to add a little more pewter over here. I'll add a little bit more. Whoops, that's a little too much. Let me just pick that up and put that aside. Where's my paper towels? Alright, I got my paper towel handy here. Try not to overmix. And let's take one of these and stamp here, and then I'll put it over here. Let's do, that's nice. Transferred some of the orange over there. Really like that. I wonder if it'll transfer some of the purple, and it does. And let's put it over here in the pewter. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, some of that orange is transferring over. And let me just go ahead and do it in the middle. And then I think I want to take my bubble wrap and just lightly go across that, add a little bit more texture. And I think I want to let that dry for a little bit. And what I think I'll do while I'm letting that dry, let's just try something. So I've got my arrow chevron stamp. I'm going to just take my finger into this extra pewter and rub it across here. And I'm going to stamp it. And I know you guys are probably not going to be able to see this, so I'm going to just go ahead and stamp it on one of the prints that I've already done. And then I'll show it to you real quick. This shows up. Okay, so here's the last print I had done, and I just am stamping over top of that. And maybe I will stamp something else. Let's see, what can I use? Let's see, I want some texture, some dots. No. I actually like this arrow, so I think I'm gonna just add more to it. I'm gonna stamp more. It's going in the cracks. Okay, so I'm just over here on this page that I just finished and just adding some more of these arrows to it. I'm going to flip it over. And or flip it around. And I'm just stamping more. Just using up all this extra paint over here on the side. And I like that. There's a lot going on right here on this page, and I really, really like it. Nice earthy tones, just a lot of texture going on. Tried to think of what I could use this for. I mean, some kind of a landscaping part, you know, collage, a fall type of a thing. We'll figure something out. And then here I have this. I mean, I'm still waiting for this to dry. Trying to think of what else I can add to this. So I think this needs a little more. Let's see what could go with that. I think what I can do, let's use my homemade Gelli Plate, and let's try out some of this acrylic ink here. So this one is dark green. Do I want to, will that go? I'm trying to think how well that would go with that. Couldn't hurt it. It's not gonna hurt it. So let's, I know you probably can't see that. Let's just, I'm gonna just drip a little bit of that on there. Well, splash it on there. Sorry, it just splurted everywhere. Okay. So these are more liquid, so they're not, they're gonna bead up. And I had, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna use a tongue depressor here and just add some texture, some marks. I don't know, like go across. Just see what it looks like. And this is a pretty strong color. So let's see what that does. I'm going to move this out of the way so you guys can see. And this is dried pretty well, so we'll finish that in a second. So here's the first one that I did. And I'm just going to flip that over and let's just see what this does. Uh-oh. Come on, come on. Ooh, look at that. I like that. And let's stamp it one more time. I may need to flip this over and pull it off like this. So there's that. That's pretty. I think I'll do that. Is that iridescent? No. It looks sparkly though. That kind of matches this color here. But I really like that. And I think, do I have an orange? I think I need to wipe this off and, well, let me leave it on there. And let's try this red earth. So that should be close to this raw umber that I used. And let's just put a couple drops there. Take my tongue depressor and just going across here. Well, let's see what this does. I am liking that. Let's do it again. And just a little bit left. So there's that. Okay. Now this is pretty much dry, so what I'm going to do is take, I like this Celadon. Let's see, and we could use, I think I just need to use a lighter color. Like this one is Unbleached Titanium and Liquitex Basics. And just put some on there in the center. And then reactivate this dry paint underneath. This is still probably not enough paint, so let me add some more. Okay. Wipe my finger off and I'll get a new sheet. Let me get one of these. I'm just going to press it down. I'm going to press this down pretty good because I want all that dried paint at the bottom, those original dark layers at the bottom to come up with the titanium white that I just put down. So let's let this sit a little bit. Sorry, I'm like kind of going over, kind of blocking your way with my arm here. Okay, so let's lift this up and see how this turned out. So there's that. I really like that. That's got, again, a lot of texture to it. You can see the bubble wrap pretty clearly. Now it's getting stuck. There we go. So I'll put that aside. And I want to do my favorite colors again. My favorite color combo, which is this raw sienna and this bright aqua green. Trying not to mix these too much. And just create an ombre effect here. I think I will do the big bubble wrap. Just really quick. Let's try this side of the circles. Oh, I like that. There's a number in there. And I just have a little, this was the end piece of that punchinella. Why don't I just take that and just put just that little piece there. How about, could do a little bit more texture. And if we're really ambitious, we could try a yellow, or do we want to try, I like this color, the transparent burnt umber. Let's add a little bit of that to our plate. Here and there. Oh. Come on. Oh. And just kind of, I'm just marking it up. I'll just see what it does. See how it turns out. I'll tilt it a little bit. So it kind of took away some of that paint underneath. But let's see what it looks like. Maybe we could do a stamp. Let's see. Let's do this stamp with it. So I just picked up a little bit of the ink and I'm just stamping randomly. Oh, I just covered my number up. So there's that. That's not bad. It's got a lot of white space left from where the ink kind of pushed the acrylic aside, but that doesn't look too bad. Just has that grungy look and that old look. So let me put that aside, and I think we'll do some black. Let's try some stuff here. I think I'm just going to, let me move this like this, and then I'll put this sheet here, and do I want some white, or maybe just some black? We could try some of this P.H. Martin India ink, and I am just gonna drip it on to my plate. And why don't I go ahead and just do like I did, just kind of dip my stamp in here, and let's stamp this. So now I've got just some broken stamped blocks across here, giving it some more texture and more interest. So So just kind of going around and just spreading it around. And this is not supposed to be perfectly straight or anything. This is random, this is texture, this is interest, or what some people would call energy. And so that added a little more interest to this, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and put this over top of the plate and just pick up the rest of that black and see how that looks. There's no mistakes here, guys, because I mean you can just keep playing and playing and playing and playing all day, and this stuff is so fun. You just experiment, and that's how you know what works best for you, what colors you like, is just experimenting and just doing it. And I really like that. That is to me a cool like background, cool abstract piece. And I think I need to add just a little more. See if I can pick up some more of that black, like where the orange is here. That's very sticky. So I picked up a little bit more there. I really like that. I mean, that would be a great background for something. But of course, these are perforated, so I'll just have to pull these apart and see what each individual one is. So these will be nice little card or rectangle pieces to put in a finished project. So I'll show you what I have so far. So I've got this piece, and if you can see, all of that textured, all of those colors that go together, and the little images, the blocks, though. I think this one is my favorite one. So there's the arrow, just a lot of energy going on. Which I like this one too. I don't know, it's hard to decide. So I'll put that aside. This one, I don't know. Maybe, because this is a card here. This would be a card here. So these would be okay. I like what this is doing. I like this texture here. If you could see that, maybe you can't see that very well. All of the little circles here. This side I'm not too keen on, so I may redo this one. This one is not too bad. I think I may just do something else with it. Let's just see what we can do with it. I'm trying to think what color would go. What third color would work well? See, we tried the copper. I think a dark would look well, which we could do the pewter again. So why don't we do that? Let's put some pewter down. Just in a little section of this. And of course these are transparent. So I can see right through it, so I forget that these are transparent metallics. Let me, we can add, I wonder if this purple would look good. I'm just talking to myself, guys, sorry. Oh, how about Naples yellow? I've not tried that yet, so let's try that. I'll put some over here. Go ahead and just mix that in. I'm going to take this homemade stamp that I have. Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and lay this down on this part. Like I said, this does not have to be lined up perfectly. These are going to be pulled apart. So there's that. I don't know. I am not sure that I'm liking that. I may just have to just cover that whole thing over. What would I cover it with? We can cover it with, let's do this. I'm just playing around now, guys. So, because I'm not happy with that. You guys may like it, other people may like it, I don't like it, so. Now this is like kind of shiny because the pewter is metallic and it is now mixed in with the pewter. Let's do this. I'm gonna let that dry. Let's just let that dry. And this one, I wanted to do something with this side. Let's see. I don't know. I'm thinking. I like this if I picture this as just individual squares that I could add. This side is not as defined. Let's see what I can do. I wonder if... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I wonder if I can just add that back in there. So I put that on my little plate. This one is really, really sticky. So I've got that, and I'll just try this. I kind of like that. I like that design. I don't know if that's going to work with this. I'm going to just stamp over here. I know you guys can't see this, but I'm going to stamp over top of this section that I don't really care for. Let's see if this does anything to help it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I have two good ones and two not so. Alright, so now I'm going to take this Celadon. Well, since this is dry, let's just cover this with some Celadon. And I'm just going to take this one and I just drop that. Okay, so take that and go over this whole thing. Alright, ready for this? I'm afraid, guys, I'm afraid. Ooh. That is actually very interesting. If I can straighten it out. I actually like that. You can see a lot of different layers of paint underneath this, underneath the Celadon. And I think that if I add some black to this, or let's try something else. Let's do this again. So I'm going to turn this to the side so you can see this page. I like this better because this isn't all over the place now. It's more solid, or not solid, but just a more unified color. I want to do yellow with this. This is the Dollar Roundy Yellow Ochre. I love yellow ochre. And let's see. Let me pick a stamp. Let's try, we could do texture. We could do this texture. There's a lot of texture on it already. Let's try this, like, I could try this, I don't know what you would call this little, I want to call it wormy. Looks like little worms. I don't know. Or, actually, you know what I think? What I think I'll do, let me get some white. Alright, bear with me, guys. Let's see. I have some white here somewhere. Okay, so here is some white that I have. It's just some System 3 acrylic from Dollar Roundy that I got from Walmart. I think these are like $3 something a piece, something like that. So these are inexpensive, fairly inexpensive paints. Let's try, I don't get paint on myself. So I still have some Celadon mixed in. I can tell that this Dollar Roundy is a lot thinner because I can see it kind of beading up here a little bit. I want to add some more white. A little too much paint, but that's all right. I want to add some stuff here. So where are you? Let's see. Do I want to? I could do this and then transfer the white to this. See how, yeah, the very faint white. Take that and kind of just set it over top and just press it down. I do like that. Look at that. I like that quite a bit. And then I've got some texture on my brayer here. Let's see if I can just run that across the top here where this is dark. Ooh, look at that texture. So now we've got some texture here, and then I think I want to go ahead, let's see, let me take some more of this. Take some more of this texture off, and sorry guys, my computer keeps going to sleep. I'm sorry. Let's just do And I know that some of this is off of the screen. I'm sorry. Trying to get all of this to fit. So there's that. And I really do like that. So like I said, there is no mistakes here. It's just you can continue to go over and over and over and layer until you are happy with your design. Let me just take this. I'm just over here pressing my homemade stencil onto this side of this page again, just to kind of clean it off. So I'm happy with that one now. So I think I've got 3 good ones that I am happy with. And then I'll just take what's on this plate, and I'm just going to go ahead and see what I can get here. Maybe nothing. I may just do this one over again in the same manner. And hey, I like that. I'm pretty happy with this section here now. I actually like this design, this just random little circular thing. I'm liking that. I think that I need to, let's see. I'm feeling like I need to do it on this too. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Or should I just leave it? I should probably just leave it. Because here's a section. Here's a section. Then these will be a section. I really like this section. There's the strip in the middle that'll come out, which I could use. I can use this as like, I could use that a lot like you would washi tape your own like printed tape. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna just continue on, and I'm not gonna put you guys through all of like hours of this because I know I've gone long enough and there's been pauses in between and my stupid computer has been going to sleep on me because I've been too long. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope that you really like this. I hope that you got some good ideas, some more new ideas. If you have a Gelli Plate and you've been using it or haven't used one or don't have one, I hope that you are interested and go and try your hand at it and see what you can do. And like I said, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will be back with something new. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.